with the Amber, that girl who set homegirl up, set Violet up to get pretty much murdered for her dragon, and the audacity of him to accuse Violet of lying. He is dead to me. He is dead to me. He is dead, deceased, done. I do not care no more about him. Does that make any sense? Do you think that makes sense? Because to me that doesn't. You know what makes sense? Just killing all of them. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new, what's up? In today's video, as you can see, your girl is coming to you guys with another reading vlog, okay? So as you saw from the title, your girl is reading Fourth Ring. Nope. Why did I say it like that? Your girl is reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, okay? So, I don't think it's much I really need to say about this book, but this is a very popular book. I mean, it's very hard to get your hands on, okay? It really is. Your girl has went through a lot to get this book, okay? So, it's just so much. I don't even know. Do y'all want me to tell y'all a story time? I'll put timestamps if you just want to skip it, but pretty much ended up getting this book from Target. Luckily, because on the app, if you look right now, like, let me see right now what it's saying, you know, because right now I probably want to say it's out of stock, can't get it shipped, can't go to a store and get it. Very much so, it is pretty much, as of right now, out of stock. You can't get it shipped, you can't have like today delivery, and you cannot pick it up at any store. It's just not gonna happen, sweetheart, because for some reason they just, I guess they didn't produce a good mass of it or something. But pretty much this book is very hard to come by, and I ended up luckily getting mine from Target, ordering it and having it delivered. So the thing with me is that if you guys saw like what I just showed you guys, it's a little tab that you can click to where you could be notified when it is available to be shipped, which for some reason I never got the notification. Well, actually I did get a notification for it, but I got the notification for it for like, I guess, the second like stock that they had online, which is crazy because I got, well, I don't know if it was the first stock, but I feel like I got this on the first stock online. So the second time around, when it came back in stock to where you can get it delivered, it's going to take some days, but it'll come to you. That's when I got the notification, which was obviously, I didn't need it because I had already got it from the first stock. But it was a lot, girl. It was a lot, okay? And then when they gave me a date, I was really excited, and then they said, oh, it might come a little late, but it only came like, I think, a day or two later, because I thought when they said, oh, sorry, the date is going to change, I thought it was going to be like maybe in July or something, which I ended up getting this in June. Okay, it's just now July 2nd that I'm recording this that I'm actually going to be able to read this. So it's been a lot, okay, and it was also at one of the closest stores to me in stock, and I tried to, I don't know, I impulsively tried to order it and do a pickup, which I thought like, oh my god, I got it, until after they had told me that it was ready for pickup, they canceled it. So my only thing was, because you know it takes about 2 hours for them to like go and they tell you to give them 2 hours, so it could have been a case where they did actually have the book in the store, and then somebody went in there, got it, and so by the time they went to go look for my book, it was not there, which is quite annoying if I do say so myself, because they give like a 2-hour window. Obviously somebody else can grab it and then you can't get it. It's really annoying. But it didn't really matter at that point because I already had this one. I don't know, I guess I was trying to look and see if I had one that was like a better condition, because this one is kind of like beat up a little bit. It's kind of beat up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah. But anyways, I'm really excited to hop into this video. I'm really excited to hop into this book. The new thing that I've tried to think about as far as how I want to like plan out this video is that I really now want to start incorporating my overall rating before what I think it's going to be before I read it, and then come to the very end to you guys and tell you guys what the actual rating of the book is, and try to compare and contrast if it is a higher rating or if it's a lower rating, or is the exact rating that I thought it would be, depending on my taste on books and stuff. But from my previous videos that I recorded that you probably have already seen, I talked to you guys how I'm pretty much in like my fantasy era, and it's like I think I've seen some people say this is a romance fantasy, which I think is right up my alley, but then some also say it's fantasy romance. So either way, with a little bit of romance sprinkled into it, it's gonna be 10 out of 10 with that, because your girl loves a good romance book. Okay, I'm not gonna cap, but I've definitely been in my romance era. Excuse me, not my romance era, my fantasy era, where I've been reading a lot of fantasy type books, you know, trying to get into like the whole world building and stuff. So I'm really excited for this. But to be truly honest with you guys, me going into this book, I think the rating that I'm gonna give this is 3 to 3.5 stars. Only reason why I'm giving it that type of rating is the simple fact that I have learned, and I've learned time and time again, that when I read books that are highly favored by the mass majority, it just never works out for me. It's never as entertaining, or I never enjoy them as much as like the general public does. I've learned that with ACOTAR, The Love Hypothesis, the After series, November 9, there you go, like that's just to name a few that have been very popular in the BookTube, BookTok, and BookStagram community and so forth. And so with that being the case, I just feel like because this is such a highly favored, highly popularized book, that it is in fact probably not going to be a book that I really enjoy, just because I've read books that you guys have really enjoyed and then I did not like them. So I'm going into this with the whole 3-star, 3.5 viewpoint, but I do really hope for my sake that it is actually higher.
Nope.
But yeah, that's pretty much just the rating I'm giving it so far. It's a thick book. It's about 500. Is this? Oh no, this is something from her other book. This is approximately 498 pages. Damn near 500. Okay, if you read the acknowledgments, I usually don't. I ain't gonna count. But if you do, it's about 500 pages. So this is going to be a good length, a good wow, and I really do hope that it is really, really good. I hope it is higher than 3.5 3 stars. And plus, I also heard that this is like reminding them of Divergent, the people who read this, and I never read Divergent, but I did watch the Hunger Games, and I feel like Divergent and Hunger Games are kind of similar in that way. So hopefully, you know, it's kind of similar in that way. I know it's like a war college type of plot to it, and you got the dragons and the romance and stuff. So I'm really excited, especially because a lot of people compare the like male main character as like male main character in ACOTAR series, and you guys know I did not like the first book of ACOTAR. I actually DNF'd it, so I can't really compare and contrast those two because I didn't like the series. I didn't finish it, so maybe I might like this one. I don't know.
Nope.
But I'm really excited to hop into this, and I'm so sorry the lighting keeps changing. The lighting keeps focusing more on the book than it needs to focus on me. But anyways, this is the reading vlog. I hope you guys are really excited. Usually I like to read like the first chapter, come in, talk to you guys on my opinion on the first chapter. Then I'll come in when I'm halfway through the book, and then I'll come in at the last like ending of the book, and then, you know, especially because I heard it's a cliffhanger, so I'm probably going to come and, you know, talk to you guys like reading the last chapter, and then come with my overall review. So yeah, so I think next time you see me, you'll see me reading this, and I'll come to you guys and tell you how I'm feeling just based off the first chapter, and then so forth. So yes, I'm really excited. Oh my god, this better be good. I really, really hope it's good, you guys. If it's not good, I'm gonna cry. I want to cry. I went through a lot to get this book, and I technically pre-ordered the second book just because I was like, okay, if I really like this book, then at least I already have the second book on its way, and plus I can get it with the sprayed edges because the second book looks really cute. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see my like live review and live reaction to this. So yes, let's just go ahead and get right into the book. What's up, you guys? Okay, so I'm back. I told you guys that a little later on I was going to start reading Fourth Wing right here, so I'm about to go ahead and start reading. It is currently like around 4 p.m. or something, and it's about to start storming low-key, so I just figured why not. I try to do a little bit of editing of my other videos I recorded earlier today, but I'm just gonna take a break because my laptop needed to charge. It still needs to charge actually, and so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna go ahead and start Fourth Wing. I'm really excited. So yeah, again, like I told you guys in the previous clip, I'm just gonna read pretty much the first chapter, come back and tell you guys how I'm feeling about the book from the first chapter. Then my next clip will be like me coming back from halfway through, and then my last clip will be like towards the end of the book and giving my final remarks of the book. So with all that being said, let me just go ahead and hop right into the book. Okay, you guys, so I just got finished reading. My dog is currently my dog is right here and he's hitting my hand. Rocky, please, I'm begging you, can I please record? I know I started laughing loud and he got scared. It's okay, I promise. No, stop, don't hit it. Stop hitting my hand. Y'all wanna see Rocky? Look at him. See, I'm gonna show people who you. No. I'm gonna show them what you look like. Since you act. Go sit down. Go be a good boy. Anyways, like I was saying, so I just finished chapter 1. I see this is gonna be another book that has like 1,000,000 pages in one chapter, and y'all already know I do not like books that has like 10,000 chapters. Like, I'm on page 20. That was just chapter 1. But neither here nor there. It was a very interesting chapter, especially the way it left off. Like, girl. Okay, so basically we get introduced to the main character, whose name is Violet. And I guess you guys pretty much know like the synopsis of it, because this is like a new book, but not so new because so many people have read it. But pretty much Violet is she wanted to go into the scribe quadrant, but her mother like refused for her to do that because her family, well really her mom and her sister, are always have been a part of the writers quadrant. Well, her father was actually a part of the scribes, which I'm gonna be honest with you already, I don't like the mama. She's giving very bitchy vibes, if I'm being very truly honest. Like, I just didn't like her energy when they was in that meeting, and the way she kind of spoke of the dad as he is deceased. We also learn about, so her sister named Mira, she's named Violet, and she had a brother named Brandon, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who passed away because he was also a writer as well, but he ended up dying in like a war of some sort. I ain't gonna cap some of the words. I was like, what is really going on? What am I reading? But for the most part, I pretty much understood. And so, at the end of the day, Violet has to go into this quadrant because her mother wants her to, even though she doesn't want to. And she's like, her mom kind of talks around her like being very fragile and quote unquote weak. I mean, she doesn't say that, but that's how Violet feels her mom interprets like her. And so I already know that she's supposed to have some type of disability. I'm not sure exactly what it is yet because it hasn't been said, but I do know from, I guess not so much of spoilers, but kind of sort of spoilers, people have been saying like it gives good promotion to different like disabilities and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's just crazy. And then you got introduced to two characters. I want to say you pronounce her name Rihanna. It's like, it's given very much Rihanna, but spelled, it's not pronounced Rihanna, but it looks like Rihanna. Like, when I look at it, I feel like I want to say Rihanna. like the singer Rihanna's name spelled like that. Low key, I think I'm gonna switch it and just keep calling her as Rihanna, cause bitch, I don't know what the fuck that name was, and I don't like it, to be true. That's one thing I really don't be liking about like these fantasies or like sci-fi books. They really be just doing the most with these names, and it's unnecessary. Like you can give a girl a Cindy, a Megan. It's okay. You can give them the basic names. You don't got to do all this extra stuff with the names. I'm not here for it. So honestly, I'm gonna call her Rihanna. Whatever her name is, we call her Rihanna from now on, because I ain't got time. So we introduced to Rihanna and the other guy, what was his name? Dylan. They pretty much got introduced because they was in line to go across from the what is it called? Parapet. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm guessing it's like this skinny type of bridge that they have to cross and balance and get to the other side. And basically they feel like if you can't cross this, and of course you cannot keep your balance on a freaking dragon, so it's again like a little skinny bridge they have to walk across, and it also started raining, so of course it's gonna be slippery and crap like that. And pretty much I left off on the first chapter. I'm trying to think, should I make this, this video is gonna be spoilers, just because again this book is kind of like, I don't want to say it's old because it came like in May, and a lot of people are still waiting to try to get the book, but I feel like at the same time you can also read it on Kindle. Should I make it spoilers or not spoilers? I ain't gonna say spoilers. I ain't gonna do the spoilers. I might do spoilers like at the very, very end, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But the way that happened to that character at the end, girl, I'm sad. I kind of felt some type of way. Like I felt like that little rush in my chest. Like, oh my god, not that happening to that person. And then we met the other main character that a lot of people talk about. Okay, here's my thing. I never know how to pronounce people's names that start with an X. I don't know if you just like, it's the X silent and you just disregard it as it's not there. So if I'm not mistaken, you would pronounce his name as Aiden.
Nope.
Is that it? Aiden? Is that what we're doing? We're ignoring the X and his name is just Aiden? Which I believe he's the son of a man who was a part of a rebellion group. And so the rebellion group got caught and his father ended up, being prosecuted. And all of the rebellion's children got put into, I guess, in the writer's quadrant, or they had to do all of the things that Violet had to do and Mira had to do it and stuff. And I guess they were like hoping that he would die, but he didn't. And so he's like a year 3, and so he is in the writer's quadrant. I feel like I'm saying writers like with W instead of R. But yeah, so his father was a part of the rebellious group. His father is dead at the hands of Mira's and Violet's mother, because she is like the head bitch in charge, basically, pretty much. And so he feels some type of way, obviously, and Mira tells her before she gets on the parapet or parapet or whatever the hell that thing is, that listen, do not have this guy, Aiden, know who you are, know your name, because if he knows who you are, he's going to try to kill you. And so girl, we in the first chapter and he already found out who she is, so that didn't last long. But yeah, it's very interesting. I just feel like I gotta really take my time and I really gotta digest, because they were saying some stuff and I was just kind of like, I think I was going in and out low-key because I am kind of hungry. So, but for the most part I got like what was really going on and stuff. And so far, especially with what it left off on in the first chapter, it was, I'm enjoying myself for the first chapter. It was a good first chapter. I'm liking it. I can't say I'm enjoying myself. I only read the first chapter, only 20 pages in, but I think I'm gonna like this. I gave it a 3 to 3.5 stars before. It might go higher. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how like the battle scene goes and stuff, because I'm feeling like they have to go through a whole bunch of different trials. But yeah, so if I really like this, I'll definitely try to look for more war college type fantasy books to read. I know another one that's really popular is The Serpent or something, by an author that starts with the name of C. I don't know. I forgot. I'm not good with names, y'all. But I'll put the picture somewhere in this video. I actually have it on my Kindle already downloaded that I might hop into as well, because I heard really good reviews. And I think the whole entire series is on Kindle Unlimited. So, yeah, I might be reading that next. We'll see, but so far so good from the first chapter. I'm enjoying myself, and this is like my first little check-in, tell you guys how I'm feeling. So the next time you guys will see me will be the halfway mark. I'm not sure how many pages that will be, but I'll put it somewhere in this video exactly what page that'll be, and I'll come back to you guys and talk to you guys about how I'm feeling so far about the book at the halfway mark. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys when I'm halfway through the book. This man has lost his everlasting mind. I cannot. I hate this man so much. I hate him so much. Alright, you guys, so I am back. So I told you guys I'll be coming back when I'm like at the 50% mark in the book. As you guys can see from the previous clip before this, I actually started reading this on my Kindle because I got a long story to tell y'all. But anyways, I'm technically, let me turn my Kindle on. I'm at 48%. If you guys can see, I'm at 48%. So I'm practically there at 50%. That's where I'm coming in now. I'm on chapter 21. 58%, practically 48%, practically 50%, okay? And so, chapter 21, and boy, oh boy. So pretty much, because you know in the beginning clip, I actually started reading this on my, I actually was reading it, the physical copy, right here. I was reading here. But let me tell y'all what happened. And excuse me if I look a little crusty, okay? I've been pretty much just reading all morning. I have not really gotten myself together. But I started again in the book. I read the first chapter and I came to you guys and gave y'all like a little summary of how I was feeling from the book, from the first chapter and the actual physical copy of the book. But then when it came to like the second chapter, I just pretty much read on my Kindle. And I think I was going like back and forth, like one chapter in the book, one chapter in the Kindle, just to see how I would like it and stuff, because I do find myself to read faster on the Kindle and to be able to interpret things better on the Kindle, just simply because, like, you know, you can look up words and try to figure out the definition if you don't know what it is or how to pronounce words. You can always do all that on your Kindle. That's why I really love reading on the Kindle, and I find myself reading faster as well when I read on here. I don't know. I know today is actually Wednesday, July 5th, the day right after 4th of July. If you guys can see, I don't know if you can see it because my phone's really bright. But it's the 5th of July, and you would have thought I would have came back a lot quicker, like maybe the 4th, like yesterday, to be here at the 50 mark. But the thing is, that was my dog in the back if you're wondering. But the thing is, what had happened was, right, I read like chapters 1 through 5, I think, well, 1 on the physical copy and then the other chapters on my Kindle, and I found myself being extremely confused as to what the hell I was even reading. I kid you not. I was like, what am I reading? What's going on? Who is who? What is what? Because to be honest with you guys, when it comes to like fantasy, I've only ever read YA fantasy. I've never read new adult fantasy, so this will be my first new adult fantasy. This will also be my first like dragon type story, so I was like, confusion was me. We were each other, so I ended up technically DNFing the book. Like, I stopped reading it come Tuesday, Monday, because I started on Sunday this vlog, and then Monday I tried to hop back into it, and I think I read like one chapter, and then after that I was like, I'm DNFing it, because I felt like I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't really like understand the writing and stuff like that, so I just stopped. I stopped reading it, and then I tried to pick up like 2 other books, and I just felt like I was giving up. Cause like, if you guys, by the time you see this video, you will see my June and May wrap up, and you would have saw in that video I like DNF 4 books between May and June, and I just didn't want to come back in July and be like, I DNF'd this book, because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. So what I decided to do on Monday was to go back in my Kindle and start all the way over from, I think I read to like chapter 6. I stopped, went back to chapter 1, and read everything on my Kindle. So I've pretty much been reading this entire book all the way up to 48%, which is where I'm at now, all on my Kindle. I have not really touched the book since. I have been like keeping up the tab, so like right now it might show I'm on chapter 20. Yeah, because on here it'll show right here like I'm on chapter 20, but obviously like I think chapter 21. What did I just say? Y'all know my memory is bad. Chapter 21. So I pretty much, that's the only thing I've really been doing with the physical copy, is just moving my book tab, my book mark, so that just in case I ever want to hop back into the physical book, I don't have to like wait. I can just hop right into it. So I've been pretty much updating the physical copy, but I haven't been reading it. And I definitely would say, sorry y'all, I would definitely say that I understand it more reading the Kindle. Who knows, I'm definitely going to have to reread this over by the time November comes, because like I told you guys, I think in the previous clips, I had already pre-ordered the second book just in case I did like the first book, and I didn't want to be like having to struggle to find it, and I wanted the one with the sprayed edges, which I already pre-ordered. But y'all, chapter 21, so many things have happened, and I could definitely say, like I said, I enjoyed this more reading the Kindle just because I could look up stuff and know how to pronounce things, and I actually reread from chapter 1 over and really took my time. I think what I was doing, I was just like, you ever just read stuff but you ain't really like digesting what you're reading? I actually digested what I was reading from chapter 1 all the way up, and I didn't even like, because I could have skipped some chapters, like, you know, the 3 and 4 and all that stuff, because I remembered pretty much what was going on, but I actually stuck with it and pretty much read the book over from chapter 1 all the way up to now chapter 21. And oh my god, it's just so much stuff, and I definitely understand it better. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to try to remember, like try to remember like the challenges they go through and all that stuff, and like try to remember names and who they are, who these people are, and then try to like remember somewhat of what the dragons do and all that stuff. I had to say, the part that really like got really like entertaining, like was really popping off, was when the dragons showed up. I love them damn dragons so much. Like, this has made me look up books that are like Fourth Wing. If you know any books that are like Fourth Wing where it's dragons and you have that little bit of romance sparking in it, please comment down below those books, because I definitely want to hop into some of those, because I'm in love with these damn dragons. They are the best. They really like made it like the book go up even higher for me. But the characters, I've loved some characters and then switched from loving them to hating them. It's just a lot going on. You probably saw in that first clip where I was just reading on my Kindle, I was cussing some people out because I was at the part where, well, let me start away from the beginning. I'm not gonna, I guess, should I do spoilers? I mean, I kind of did spoilers in the first chapter, but I feel like this is nothing new. This book has been pretty out for a while and people have been reading it. I mean, it got really good ratings on Goodreads, even though, you know, I don't really care too much about Goodreads ratings, because, you know, they be lying sometimes. But it's just like, for instance, the character that I actually really did enjoy in the beginning, because of course before I hop into the book, I wouldn't say I saw necessarily spoilers, but I saw like people's opinion on certain characters and how they didn't like them. So I kind of had like in my mind like a little bit of information about them. So like, for example, I always saw, well, I wouldn't say always, but I did see somebody post something about how they didn't like a particular character because they felt like this character was coddling the main character and wouldn't allow her to use her, like wouldn't allow her to try That's pretty much what I learned. But I didn't know who they were talking about, like the name or anything about that. And then of course, now that I'm reading, I know they're talking about Dane, which is her closest and dearest friend that she knows since childhood, who is also in the writer's quadrant, and he's a year above her, so he's like second year. And in the beginning, I didn't mind the type of person he was. I didn't mind, and I didn't think that he was necessarily a bad character. And it didn't necessarily at the beginning. Now, it didn't annoy me how much he was so adamant of pushing her to go to the scribes quadrant, because at the end of the day, I agree with him. Says you don't know what you're doing. You ain't got no. I don't want to put you down, but it's just like, I understood it from the point of view of this is your friend, and you don't want to see your friend get hurt or die. Let's just cut the crap, okay? Die, because at the end of the day, that's pretty much what this is all about. It's either you fly or you die, period. That's pretty much what it's all about, okay? So I understood like his frustration in trying to get her to switch quadrants, because she was never trained to do this. She was only trained to do this for like 6 months, but you've been a scribe training for that for all your life pretty much with your dad. So I can understand why he was so adamant of getting her out of that quadrant and into the scribes. I didn't find that annoying. I found that as he was trying to protect his friend, and he didn't want her to die, and he didn't want to have to see her die and stuff like that. And with that being the case, I didn't find that annoying, and I found that actually it's like, he cares about you, girl. He loves you. He doesn't want you to get hurt. That's how I felt in the beginning. But this motherfucker right here, he ain't got on my last fucking nerves. And then on chapter 20, if you know what happens, you know. With the Amber, that girl who set homegirl up, set Violet up to get pretty much murdered for her dragon. And the audacity of him to accuse Violet of lying. He is dead to me. He is dead to me. He is dead. Deceased. Done. I do not care no more about him. No. No. It's not going to work for me. It's never going to work for me again. I was rooting for him. I will not lie. And now I'm no longer. He is dead to me. Period. That is ridiculous. I was flabbergasted when I read that. I was like, oh. So this is how we feeling. He really called her a whole liar. And then he tried to use his what is it? What is it that they have? Like their special little magic skill or power that they have that's powered from their dragon. He tried to use that, which is pretty much he can read people's memories if he touched their head. And he tried to do that on her just to see her memories, which obviously she couldn't do because of some stuff that happened. What I want to say you pronounce his name Taryn and Andrana. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing their names right. But, you know, the situation that happened between them and Aiden's, I hope that's pronounced. Listen, I'm not good at pronouncing names. Y'all know this. But Aiden's dragon, what's her name? Gale? Something like that. Like, pretty much Aiden's dragon and Violet's dragon are mates. So now they're connected in a way, Violet and Aiden. And obviously Aiden was the guy who was set to try to kill Violet because Violet's mom is the one who he believes sent out the whole execution against his parents and other what are they called? Like some of their parents set out to try to be like a rebellious group against the Navarre. So his parents was like, I think his dad was like the main guy, and so he has vendetta against Violet because her mother pretty much assassinated or killed his dad and a whole bunch of other kids' dad because their parents were a part of the rebellion group against the Navarre. And then they ended up taking the kids and like marking them with like some type of mark that shows that they're the children of the rebellious group, and then pretty much enlisting them into the writer's quadrant, expecting them to die, but it's so many of them. And here's my thing. I think that whole theory is fucking stupid. Why the hell would I enlist the kids of the rebellious group to be a part of a quadrant that is supposed to protect our home turf? Do that make any sense? Do you think that makes sense? Because to me that doesn't. You know what makes sense? Just killing all of them. Like, if we're gonna be honest, I mean, y'all have no problem with killing. That's pretty much of this book. So why wouldn't you just kill them damn kids? No shade, no tea, no, I don't mean no beef, but I'm just saying that makes no logical sense to me whatsoever, to enlist those kids that are part of the children of rebellion people to pretty much fight for you, in a way. I mean, I know your hopes was that they were going to die, but they did, and it's so many of them, and then they make these stupid rules like it can't be no more than 3 of them in a group and all that, and girl, that's just stupid to me, if we're really being honest. That doesn't make sense, but okay. And it's just a lot going on. And then let's talk about Violet. How I feel about her as a character. Homegirl is a little bit annoying, a little bit too forgiving, and a little too horny. Like, it's a lot with her. Like, she be talking about sex at the most random times. I'm just like, what is going on? Why are we? And one thing I will say, because I heard a lot of people also saying that they didn't like the romance between the two because they felt like it was very insta-love type stuff. And I'm just like, again, I'm almost 50% in and they haven't kissed. So I don't know necessarily on what y'all interpret instant love, but that to me isn't. Because instant love is like 20% they already having. They doing the McNasty. That's instant love to me. So I don't think it's no instant love, to be truly honest. If I'm almost at 50% and they haven't even kissed, and he's already like said like he don't sleep with first years. He didn't even sleep with first years when he was a first year, and let alone her. That's a quote he said. I highlighted it and I was like, bitch, calm the fuck down. So he ain't even really checking for her yet. I mean, again, y'all, technically y'all dragons are mated. Y'all might as well be mated too. But I'm just sad because at one point I was really rooting for Dane and Violet to be like something. Well, I was honestly rooting for Dane to just get some type of cheeks. And in this book, like, I didn't care if it was from Rhiannon. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Honestly, I told you guys, I don't even want to call her that. I'm calling her Rihanna because that's another thing I would say so far I don't like about the book. The names. Like, I mean, again, maybe it's just a new adult fantasy type thing where y'all gotta pick the most randomest, hard-ass pronouncing names to name things in this world. It doesn't make sense. Like, where's a Sarah? Where's a Claire? Like, where's the normal name? No shade, but Rhiannon? Just say Rihanna. Like, why are we doing all this extra stuff? I don't understand. Even Tyrion, who I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing the dragon's name right. His whole name is such a long name. Girl, couldn't be me. Nickname, and even the nickname I'm struggling. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right. Taryn. What happened? Taryn. I think it's Taryn. T-A-I-R-N. Taryn. But, honey, so again, technically in the book I'm on chapter 21, I'm on page 249. And I just got finished reading about how Amber has now been pretty much killed because she was the one who set the group to try to kill Violet for her dragon. And also it's like a rule, you know, that they cannot try to kill you while you're sleeping and stuff like that. And when I say she's too forgiving, at one point, because she was trying to like say, don't kill Amber, maybe we could just, you know, fix this and we could be friends. And I'm like, shut up. It's been has it been 3 times? I'm trying to think. How many times has it been where she's been in a situation where somebody has set out to try to kill her and she has not killed them? Like, they have been, like, literally said they're going to kill you, and you just don't comprehend that well enough for me. Like, you just don't try to get them first when you literally have the upper hand to do it. Like, the first time is when she was crossing the parapet, however you pronounce it, the little bar thing that she had to walk across, and Jake was behind her, and she literally had it to where she was a cadet at that time, but he was not, and she was basically had a dagger to his balls. She could have literally slit his throat and pushed him over and called him a motherfucking day. He was not a damn cadet, so you could have killed him right then, but he couldn't. Like, but then you just let him get past and become a cadet, and he literally whispers to you, I'm gonna kill you. Like, why did you just kill that fool then? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, and I get it, she's like, I never killed anyone before, but girl, what was the point of you fighting Dane this whole entire damn book to stay in this quadrant if you're just never gonna kill anyone? Like, she has not grown not one bit in this damn book so far at 50%. And I get it, I heard there's supposed to be more books in this series. Like, I think 5 I heard. So, I mean, maybe it's like some type of growth that's gonna happen as the books come out. Because you're so adamant of trying to prove Dane wrong that you can be in this quadrant and you can survive. And yes, you've done it so far, but you have really kind of half-assed your way through it. You're gonna be fucked up in the end. You do realize that, right? Because, like, even when she was doing the sparring thing, you was pretty much poisoning all the people beforehand so that you could win and get their daggers. But again, like Aiden was saying, you can't poison every single, like, opponent you have when we actually go to war or actually fight in the field. Like, you can't do that. So you're not really learning anything. Girl can't even stay on her damn dragon. Don't got no upper body strength, no lower body strength. Can't stay on the dragon. Like, you falling up every damn time. Taryn had to put little imaginary shackles on your ass to keep you on him. Like, he's like, stop. When he says stop falling, you're embarrassing us. Like, literally he says, get it together. Like, you just got, you want to stay here, but you ain't really acting like you want to be here. Like, you not up, like, you, I don't know what was going on. And I'm starting to think you want to stay here just to prove your mom a point, like, prove that you can do it and make her proud. But we already know she don't give a fuck. Because if she really gave a fuck, why the freak would you put a child you know who was never trained for this into this quadrant when she was always trained for a scribe and know it's a possibility she could die? What kind of parent does that? Like, let's just be honest, okay? It was just a lot going on. The dragons I'm enjoying. I don't like Dane. Violet is okay. Rihanna is just there. They just pretty much, this is just like a big old dragon sex fest, if you really ask me, because everybody's coming out somebody other room because, ew, I might die tomorrow, so they just sleeping with everybody. And then this is when she comes all horny, like, oh, I miss sex. I wish I. I'm just like, and then she constantly is like talking always about him as in a sexy way, and I just like, girl, take a hint. He doesn't like you. He's just not that into you. Y'all know that movie? He's just not that into you. Like, says he's, I don't know. But again, I'm enjoying myself. I'm excited to see how much, like, again, I'm 48%, practically 50%. It's gonna be so much more that happens in the second half, and I already heard it leaves you on a cliffhanger, so I'm really excited. But I'm enjoying myself. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very fast-paced read, especially on the Kindle, and I'm just going in. I'm reading chapter after chapter. I'm supposed to be doing some schoolwork, even though it's not due till Sunday, and my whole goal is to hurry up and start it, but I keep trying to read this. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna read until like 5 o'clock. It's 4:24, and then I'm starting my work. But yeah, this is pretty much like my 50 mark check-in, if you will say, even though I'm 48%. But to get into 50%, I have to like go through this chapter, and then I have to probably stop in the middle. So I just figured I'll just do it right here. But so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. The characters are, I don't know, but I just made me think that Dane is about to do some fucked up shit, especially because his little friend Amber's gone, and he just had the audacity to accuse Violet of lying. This fool has really lost his everlasting mind. I just cannot deal with him. I cannot deal with him no more. But yeah, so that's pretty much my little wrap in for the 50 mark, and I will pretty much be coming back to you guys when I get to the end. So we're almost there. It took me what, but like 3 days, but it's because I had to restart all the way over. But we're here now. So this is the 50 mark check-in, and I'll see you guys when I'm towards the end. welcome back. Sorry, I need that, y'all. I know it has been a while. Well, obviously for you guys it doesn't seem like a while, but for me it's been a while since I have been like recording for this particular video, which you guys know is my reading vlog for Fourth Wing. So I'm gonna tell you guys now, it is currently July 17th, 11:52 a.m. I already finished Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, we're done, we're complete. I already told you guys in my previous clip that I was reading this on my Kindle, and I finished it on my Kindle. I finished this, when did I finish this? I finished Fourth Wing July 7th. I finished this on the 7th, and it is currently, like I just said, the 17th. So it's been 10 days since I have finished this, and I'm just now coming to you guys with my closing remarks for this book. Now, of course, by the time you're seeing this video, you've already saw my little shorts that I created about like how I was feeling about Fourth Wing. So you kind of already have like a idea of what my thoughts are for this book. My dog's right here. For this book, you already know how I'm feeling for it. I told you guys at the beginning of this video that I wanted to give ratings before I started reading the book, just based off of what I know about myself and what I know I like to read, what I would think of the book before I read it, and then at the end I would give you guys my actual official rating for the book. Because this is such a popular BOOKTOK, BOOKTube, just popular book in general in the book community, and it's very hard to get. Besides all of that, I finished Fourth Wing, and at the very beginning, before I even read the book, I gave the rating of 3 to 3.5 stars. Why did I give that? Just because I have been let down so many times by BookTube and BOOKTOK, just any books that's just overly popular, you know, overly hyped. I have read some, again, November 9, the After series, what else, The Love Hypothesis, just to name a few, and they have done your girl dirty. I have not liked them. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm just flabbergasted. I just saw my grandma put up like these little things to try to stop my dogs from going behind the table, and my dog, my big chocolate lab, just jumped his big ass over the obstacle that she put in front so he couldn't go back there. He literally hopped over it like it was nothing. So I'm just amazed at looking at him do that. But anyways, besides that, I gave it a 3 to 3.5 stars because, again, of my experience with popular books like Love Hypothesis, the After series, November 9 by Colleen Hoover, just to name a few. Those books have really just let your girl down. I DNF Love Hypothesis. I did finish November 9, but I gave it like a 3-star. I kind of sort of read a lot of the After series. I ain't gonna say I only stopped at the first book, just because that was when I was younger. When I read that, I'm not gonna talk about it. But anyways, it's just, I gave it a 3 to 3.5 stars. And what's crazy is I was really hoping and I was really praying that my rating would be actually higher once I actually finished this book. But the gag is my rating is lower. It's lower than 3 to 3.5 stars. This is probably the lowest book I've ever given. I mean, I wouldn't actually say a book that I DNF'd. I gave a rating. I just DNF'd it. I can't give it a rating because I didn't finish it. But for a book that I actually gave a star rating for, this has to be the lowest. Again, if you would have considered a DNF a rating, like I just didn't like it, so I didn't finish it, then I guess you could say this obviously wouldn't be my lowest rating. But if we're looking at it from like the star rating, whatever book I've ever finished and I gave an actual star rating for, this will be my lowest ever. Because I just felt so many different emotions, and I don't know if it was because at the time that I was reading it, I just wasn't in the mood, or I just wasn't feeling it. But I feel like I was in the mood because when I first started this vlog, I was so happy and excited to read this. But pretty much my ending rating for this book is a 1/2 star. It would have been a full 1 until one of my favorite, the only character I really liked it, got cut off, and so that's what made it go to a half. It was a 1 star at one point, and then it went to a half star. Like literally, look at a whole 1 star, cut it in half. That is the rating for this book. It is a half star for me. I just did not. It just went downhill. It just went downhill for me, y'all. It just did. It was so many things. First off, one thing I have to mention. I realized that I was pronouncing the main male character's name wrong. Rocky, I was pronouncing his name wrong. It's Zayden. Tell me why his name. Why is that a thing? Like having somebody's name start with an X, but for some reason it's pronounced Zayden. When I looked up the actual name, spelled exactly like his but with a Z, and that's also pronounced Zayden as well. So why is it like 2 different ways to pronounce the word Zayden? Oh, excuse me, 2 different ways to spell the word Zayden, or the name Zayden, with an X and a Z? I don't know. The math isn't mathing for me. The only, like I told you guys before, I don't really know how to pronounce names with X's in front of them unless it's Xavier, because you could obviously hear the X being pronounced in Xavier. But like I see people who have like Christian or Chris names and they put the X in front of it instead of the C's. I don't know what the hell that means, what's going on with that, but the boy's name's Zayden. I've been calling him Aiden because I just thought you'd make the X silent. Bitch, I don't fucking know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But yeah, so his name's Zayden, and I just didn't care. I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care by the time I got to the ending of this book. Like, I just didn't care. And then the crazy thing is, I told you guys when I first started this, I got to like chapter 5 and then I stopped reading. And then I ended up going back to chapter 1 all over again because I honestly didn't understand what the hell I was reading. To read everything all over again just to try to understand and comprehend what the hell I was reading, because I got so confused. So I went back, and I believe I started rereading it on my Kindle because, again, I read faster. And I also think that was like when I was reading on my Kindle, I understood the story better. And also I was able to like look up words that I might have not understood, because again, you know, the Kindle has all those like cool specs and stuff like that. So I reread it, and I was reading predominantly all on my Kindle. I actually was never really, after I did that first clip with you guys saw me reading, I was just reading that first clip on the book, but then I switched to the Kindle, and I was understanding, I was getting into it, blase, but there were just some things about it that just didn't make any sense in this book. The first thing that I think I told you guys in a previous clip is the whole ordeal of them keeping the children of the rebellious group that rose in the Hirondale province, whatever, that place. Those kids that were the children of the rebellious group, why did they decide to put them in that quadrant? Why would you put them in the writer's quadrant? I don't know why you just didn't, you know, kill them off, you know? That's just me, because what's the logic in that, in keeping them? And then not only keeping them and putting them in the most, like, I guess, the best quadrant out of all of them, I guess, because they was talking about, you know, they said something in the beginning of the book where, like, that quadrant is, like, the most important one, the writer's quadrant, something like that. So why the hell would you put them in that quadrant? And I understand they spoke about how they was just thinking that they would just die, like, from the parapet or parapet or whatever the hell that thing is that they had to cross over. I'm guessing that's what they were just assuming, that they were just gonna die there and they wouldn't have to like worry about them. But obviously that wasn't the case, because Zayden is like the head bitch in charge on in one of the wings, fourth wing. Of course the books say fourth wing. Okay, so he is the head bitch in charge. So I mean, and he was also the son of the head bitch in charge of the rebellious group. So it's just like the math isn't mathing. Why would you even keep them alive? That's just stupid right there. Like, okay, that. Let's not. And then not only that, but then you got the sparring scene with Violet and her opponents, who she just keeps on drugging up, pretty much just drugging them up constantly over and over and over. And at that point I was like, it was a good idea, I'm not gonna knock it, but it was just the amount of time she was doing it every single time. And nobody caught on to that. Like, nobody was like, how is it that every person that she's got to fight is dying? Or not dying, let's say, but becoming sick before they have to fight her. The math isn't math. It's like nobody's never seen that. Come on. After the third person, I would have been like, okay, why is everybody she fighting sick? Like, what's going on? How is that? You know, it's just the things like that. It just don't make, the math isn't math thing. And I ain't gonna cap. It got to a point, like, I think like towards like the last four chapters, I didn't care what the hell I was reading. I wasn't interpreting nothing what was going on in the book. That I literally just, I kid you not, the struggle I've been through with this book is ridiculous. Because again, at like the last 4 chapters, I just gave up. I didn't care anymore. I stopped reading and I went all the way to the very end of the book because so many people keep talking about the cliffhanger, this cliffhanger, and it's just so good. It is, oh wow. And then I skipped to the last page and I read what it is. And I'm gonna put in the title of this video as spoilers. Her brother's not dead. Whoop-de-doo. And I'm not saying it wasn't a bad cliffhanger. It was a good cliffhanger. But I'm just like, I literally skipped the last 4 chapters just to get to this because I just didn't care no more. I didn't care no more. And then the fact at the part where she finds out about Zayden and what his alliance is and all this shit, and him, you know, dealing with the people across the border and they little, it's not a dragon, it's like a horse and eagle, whatever the freak they be flying on. I was like, girl, I started laughing. I ain't gonna care. I was like, girl, you stupid? Like, is you really stupid? Or are you stupid? Like, which one is it? I didn't care. I just didn't care. And then the way Zayden was like, oh, you love me and all that. I'm like, bitch, you barely, I don't know. It's something about their romance where it was very one-sided. Let's be honest. Sis was giving pick me vibes.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
Like, it was so one-sided, and then at the end, it just automatically, he just piled on all this love. Like, it was a love bombing scene, if you really want to be honest. Like, I don't feel like during the times where they were having those little scenes and stuff, it was just giving very much one-sided. And then at the end, he wanted to hit her with all this love bombing. I was like, bitch, please. Like, it was one-sided. I don't care. Sis was giving pick me vibe. It was like, sis, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I just didn't care. The point where it really got entertaining is when she had the dragon. When the dragons finally, it didn't get, like, it was okay in the beginning. It was entertaining. And then in the middle, it was like, boring. And then it got a little bit more exciting when the dragons finally came in because I like these dragons. The dragons were cool. And then she ended up getting bonded with 2 dragons. I don't even make me try to say their names because I can't. That's another thing I really didn't like about the book, and I think I told you guys that in another clip. All these damn hard ass names pronounced, like, it ain't for me. Okay, y'all already know I could barely remember names as it is. So why did you make all these names hard? I don't know why you didn't call the girl Rihanna instead of Rhiannon. Name just extra. Like, come on now, let's stop it. And then the whole ex-Zayden. Have y'all ever heard of a name like that? I have never. See, if I ever saw a name spelled like that, never in my life would I think it's pronounced Zayden. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe it is. I don't care. I just wouldn't think with an old X. Just put the Z. Just put the Z. You're being extra. That is such an extra thing to do. To name somebody that with an X. Well, you can literally just name them with a Z. Like, just why would be an extra? I don't know. And the only person that I liked died. He died at the end. Damn. He was like the only one. Okay, Rocky. Oh God. He was the only one that I really liked. Like, the character that I really enjoyed. And then they killed him off. And that's, like I told you guys, why I gave it a half star. I was realizing towards the end, I was like, Liam is like the only one that I really like. Like, he's not annoying like the other characters are. And he just, he chill with it. He chill. And then they killed him off. And then I gave the book a half star. And I was like, I'm done with this. Like, no. You cannot kill the only good character on the damn book. You can't do that. You just, it should be illegal at this point. And then, dang, don't get me started about his ass. Cause we knew, like, at first, I was rooting for you, Dane, not for her to be with him, but I was understanding his point as to why he was so like trying to get her to go to Pride Quadrant. Because I mean, if you know your friend isn't, you know, was a little fragile, was a little tinier than everyone else, and they said that so many times in the book, then of course you're going to try to protect them as much as you can. And so I understood that from you know, from a certain point I understood where he was coming from, but of course it, you know, it came a thing where he just kept doing it, and it was like, okay, Dane, Rocky, Dane, calm down. She said she ain't leaving, so I guess, you know, you just gotta let her do her thing. She died, that's on her. But that ending, when we found out he was really just looking at her memories and looking at her, I guess, yeah, her thoughts and memories and stuff, because that's like his like power from his dragon. I was like, that motherfucker, what kind of friend are you? Like, you cannot be that much of a pick-me for the rules and regulations that you gonna, like, can't nobody be like that in real life. I swear to God, y'all be lying. Can't nobody be like that. You are not getting anything. What, they give you Scooby snacks to be out here snitching and stuff? Like, sir, you cannot be doing all that. That was, oh, okay, be like that then. But I gave it a half star. I just didn't care. And I don't know if because in the mood, it was like certain emotions I was going through in my personal life that I just didn't care for the book. But I read books to like as a way to escape, and this book just wasn't that book for me because I wasn't entertained. I was entertained for some of the points, but everything flipped upside down at the end, where, you know, Zayden was teaming up with the other people, and then even her own dragon knew. And he didn't even tell her, like, bitch, whose side are you on? Who are you bonded with, bitch? Do you know your position? Is you bonded with him or me? I know that Zayden got your girl as his dragon, but you couldn't be my dragon. In fact, bitch, I got two of y'all. And y'all, nobody said nothing. Nobody spoke to me up in here. Who you sided with? Like, whose side are you on? Like, that's how I'm feeling. That didn't even make no sense. And don't get me started about the sex scenes. Now, some of you guys might not know this, but some of you guys may do know. If you saw my old videos when I used to sit in front of my bookshelves, it was a time where I was sitting directly in front of my bookshelves with all my like erotic, spicy books. So your girl has got a little, you know, a little bit of knowledge, if you will, on like erotic books or just the sex scenes or like the spice and everything nice. Okay, I do. You gotta understand from my point of view that I did not like a book if I just skipped over the sex scenes, and I did not care. I believe there was 2 of them, and I did not care. I skipped over them. At one point I was just reading like their dialogue, so every time like I saw quotation marks I was reading that, but I would just skip it through everything else. Like I didn't care for the sex scenes. I didn't care anymore about her getting her little power, her little lightning power. I didn't care. And I told you guys at the last like 4 chapters I just skipped through it and went to the last page, and then I eventually went to YouTube to listen to an audio of it, of the last 4 chapters, because I was like, I don't want to give up. I don't know if I consider that DNF because I did skip over so much and I went to the end. But I was like, no, let me thug this out for this vlog. And so I listened to it on YouTube, and I put that shit on like 2 times speed because I wanted to go fast. But the gag is, it's almost kind of like worse listening to it, especially because it wasn't like an actual audiobook reader. Like it was almost like Siri just talking, and I realized how much worse it is listening to like a Siri like voice just reading the book, because the amount of times that the reader, was Siri I should say, was just saying, oh my god, or what the fuck, like those like period, word, period. I did not realize how much that was, it's like, I mean, I did realize that how much it was written in the book before the ending, like just in the beginning and then in the middle, but in the end, especially hearing to a Siri like audio reader just keep saying, oh my god, like breaking words up like that, you don't realize how annoying it is. How annoying it is written until you hear it from a Siri like audiobook reader. It's so freaking annoying. I was like, if I hear oh my god or what the fuck or just like that type of phrasing again, I'm gonna lose my mind, because why do you keep writing like this as if you're a robot with a period after every word? Like, it was very robotic, and you know Siri kind of sounds robotic, so a robot reading robotically is just very not pleasing. I can tell you that much for sure. So that was annoying as well, because I just didn't want to give up after I already skipped it and went to the end. So I decided to listen to the audio, and I just didn't care. And then, you know, all the stuff we learned about her dad and those books that she was reading as a kid ended up coming to life, like the Wyvern, and then the whatever the hell that shit is, that ended up being real, like it wasn't a myth like she thought it was. It was actually real, and that's what they had to battle, and that's why they're like the little, I just don't care. I just don't care. Like, I just don't care. I'm trying to explain this to y'all, but again, it's been 10 days and I just don't care. I just didn't care. I didn't care for how much it was hyped up. It was just so hyped up, and I just didn't. Now, who knows? Maybe I will try to read this over again. Because again, I think it was just, I don't know if it was the book was making me not in the mood, like the emotion I was feeling, or I do remember one time I was reading this and I was very hungry. So I could have been just very angry and not in the mood to be reading this. It could have been that as well. I just didn't care. I didn't care about these characters. I didn't care about her, Violet. I didn't care about Violet. I realized as I was reading this, Violet is the first main character I've ever read who does not give main character energy. Period. I've never in my life read a book about a main character who does not give main character energy. Like, she does not give main character energy to me. Like, I just didn't care about her. And that's very hard for me to like. Like, if I don't like the main character, and I have read a book where I did not like the main character, The Lifestyle by I'll put it somewhere in the picture somewhere in the video. With The Lifestyle, I did not like the main character, but I liked the book because I liked the side character. So you gotta give me something. If I don't like the main character, you gotta give me a side character. You got to. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the dragons. Again, I told you I liked Liam, but it just wasn't that. Again, I just didn't care. So I ended up picking up another book that I knew was about dragons, Fireborn, by Rosaria Munda. You know I'm not good with names, but Fireborn. I'm currently actually reading this right now, and it's so crazy to me because this book came out before this book. I'm currently reading this right now. I am on chapter 5, page 110, and that's just how far I'm into it. Not that well, let me say this, because I started this right after I finished 4th Wing, because I was still in that dragon mood even though I didn't like this, and I wanted to give this a try because I've heard really great things about this and how people compare the two. And I can definitely see where they get the comparison from, because this came out before 4th Wing. So I kind of want to do like a very much in-depth review, just because there are so many similarities between the two of these. And mind you, this came out before, this came out this year. So I see the similarities of this book and that book. So I'm not like professional or has like the top expertise as to like what should be in a dragon book. But the fact that it's quite a bit like similar in a way, it's giving off, you know, like, I don't know if that's like a blueprint for all dragon books that they're going to be similar, but this is giving a lot of this. And a lot of people have been saying, well, if you like this, then you should like this. Well, yeah, because they're kind of similar. One thing I can say for sure that makes this one better than 4th Wing is you get dragons like at the very beginning of this. You're not waiting until the half mark to get them. They're already there. They're already already there. And it's just a lot of stuff that I've found to be very similar between the two. And it makes me wonder, like, and it's so crazy to me because if you go to Amazon and you try to buy this book, the audacity of, I don't know who did it, maybe the author even did it, I don't know, but to put, like, you know how they, when they trying to sell you a book, they'll try to comment on the other books that are similar to the book you're trying to purchase, to try to like say, hey, if you like Game of Thrones in this, you would definitely love this book. Well, for this book on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, if you go look, they'll mention Fourth Wing, as if like if you like Fourth Wing, or you'll like Fireborn, and I'm like, but bitch, this came out before this, so why are you recommending this for this, as if this is the blueprint for this, when this is really the blueprint for this. So it's just, I don't know. So far, I can tell you right now, Fireborn is in the lead as far as like me enjoying it, you know, the dragon books and all. It's winning compared to Fourth Wing, just from the beginning, you know, the characters and stuff. But anyways, so Fourth Wing, it was a buzz. I gave it, again, half a star. I don't know, maybe one day, especially towards November, because I know the next book comes out. Like, again, the cliffhanger was good. It was just, I don't know if I was just not in the mood, or the book was putting me in the mood. I just didn't care. I just didn't care about this character. I just did not care for Violet. She wasn't giving main character energy to be the main character, and they killed all the favorite characters that I liked, and the whole relationship thing between them two was okay. And then, like, the whole little drama thing, I guess, with, like, their, walls, like the magic for the walls, whatever that was called, was like being like dismantled. We found out why, because of the thing that she always thought was like a myth from her dad ended up being real, and the only way to kill it is to use the magic or whatever the case may be for the walls. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, because again, it's been 10 days. I don't remember like that, and I just didn't care. But again, I'm currently reading Fireborn, and I'm having a good old time. I really am. I am enjoying myself reading this book. I'll probably come back eventually, either in my wrap up or just do a whole individual video of this, or how I'm feeling for it, and like what my overall rating for it. My overall rating going into the book, I believe, was going to be a 4-star. But we'll see if it stays up that way. All that being said, that's the ending rating, half star. Did not enjoy myself. I realized like the way that things were explained or described, I didn't understand. Like, for the life of me, that last like little obstacle course they had to go through to end up meeting the dragons, I could not imagine that for the life of me. Like, if somebody held a gun to my head, was like, describe that scene, describe how that obstacle course was, bitch, I would be dead, because I couldn't describe it to you guys, because I just didn't understand the way it was written, how to describe it, a lot of the stuff that was going on. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. That is my ending remarks on Fourth Wing. I'm sorry if it was all over the place, but baby, again, it's been 10 days since I finished this, and yeah, it was a mess for me. It was not up to the hype as what I thought it was going to be, you know, from what everybody's been saying, how much they love this book. It just was a no for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you turn your notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.